Alright everyone, today I'm going to show you how to put fog lights into a 1998 Saturn SL2. I've been wanting to do this for a while, so a few weeks ago I actually went to the junkyard and finally found one that had some. So what you're going to need today is the brackets along with the headlights, or the fog lights. This is going to be an OEM install. You can probably do whatever you'd like. As long as you have the brackets, you should be able to retrofit any of those other types of aftermarket fog lights. So as long as you have the brackets, which are these right here, make sure they're both left and right. They have the nice little R and the L. Also, you're going to need fuses. For mine, I need 15 amp fuses. You're also going to want to have one of these 87As. You can probably pick that up at the junkyard along with those fuses. Unfortunately, I forgot. And also the fog light, which on this one, it's actually right here. I've already installed it. It sits right there on the passenger side. Make sure you pull the entire piece off because the the breadboard that's inside actually has all the fuses and everything hooked up. You just need to switch that out. So here we go. Now I have already pulled apart the underhood junction box. There are, I believe it is a, where's that? That's for the thing. I believe these right here is a 10 mil right here and a 10 millimeter right here. You're also going to want to undo the 10 millimeter that is down here at the bottom, and there's another one right there. Before you do any of this, make sure you unhook the battery. Hopefully everyone's smart enough to do that, because you're working with electricity. So give me a second, let me put this back up on the tripod and we'll get started or continue. Okay, now after you've pulled apart the underhood junction box, or the UHJB, which a lot of people could refer it to, you want to install some pins. Now you can get some of these things from the junkyard, pretty much just pull them out of the old junction boxes. You're going to install them in the pins where the fog lights fuses will be. So on this one, looking at my cheat sheet over here, there should be 6 of them total. You'll be installing one here, here, yeah, 2 more right here, and here. I don't believe there's a specific way. It looks like these ones. Doesn't matter which way you install those. And then the other 2 are up here for the 15 amp fuse. So right here and right here. So you should have 6 total. And give me a second, I gotta flip this over so we can make sure the wires are there. If they're not, you gotta install them yourself. Alright, now upon closer inspection, I noticed that the wires are not there, so hopefully by this time you would have gotten the wires for them as well. If you found the brackets, then most likely the wires will be there, so just cut them out of the wiring harness and take them with you, because you're also going to need those connectors for the lights. So again, looking at my cheat sheet, the wires, 2 of them should be one right here, those are the purple. The negative should be, I believe, right here. And then there should be another one right down in here, and then another negative for the battery, or for the right fog light. I don't know if you can see it, is going to be right about there. Pull the light over here. You're just going to attach it to this grounding spot. There should be 6 total spots to hook stuff up. So give me a moment and I will try to hook everything in real quick. Okay, now the 2 wires are installed. These 2 right here. There's also, I believe, this will become a grounding wire, and that it was installed. It was a different setup at the junkyard on that car, so I just stuck it right here. I believe this is the, once I can get that stupid light out of the way. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one on the far side of the junction box, or the front. Just that one that's pulling out this way. Just make sure you have these things grounded as well when you're doing this. So let me go ahead and you gotta get a 7 millimeter and then pretty much tighten this thing back in so it can connect again. So let me put this back real quick. Sorry for all the shakiness. Can only do so much work on a car one-handed. Go ahead and tighten this back down. Now that's tightened back down. Go ahead and move all those wires back. Close this up, make sure everything's back to really where it was supposed to be. Just be able to snap this down. There we go, like that. And then just flip it back over. And there's that part done. Alright, after you've gotten the junction box reinstalled, put back together, you're going to feed each of these lines down where they should. This one, you probably just go down through that, a hole right next to the junction box. Just push it all down there. Now this one's going to be a little more tricky. Best way to put it, usually you want to put it right underneath, right between, because the piece of wire harness goes right underneath this right here, goes right through this. You want to see if you can get it to snake through there and then drop down on the passenger side. So let me figure out how I'm going to do that, and I'll get back. Alright, so what I did, the first one I just dropped down through the hole right here, go on the driver's side. The other one I snaked, you can see the wire right there, snaked it through, and actually put it through the front here. Tried to keep it as low as possible and dropped it, where'd it go? Right down through in here. And now it should be sitting right down there. I'm gonna go on the other side. Pull the leg with me. Alright, as you can see, it's actually dropped down. So it is going to go right here. Oops. Let's pull it back out. Right there into that void. And now that I'm under here, this is the passenger side here. Where this is going to hook into, you see those two bolts right there. You just pull those bolts off and you take the bracket and just feed into that bracket, or the bracket into those holes, or onto those bolts, what I'm trying to say, and screw it back on, and then remove that little cover, and you should have brackets installed. Let me go ahead and do that, and I'll show you. Alright, now here is the bracket installed, and with the light. Now as you can see, it's just bolted in by those two bolts. I'm only doing the passenger side, one for time, two because there's one extra thing you need to do on this one. So after you've gotten everything installed, there's the light, there's the plug. You need to go back around to the front, actually to the top. And like I said, you gotta take this extra piece. This is your grounding wire. And all you have to do is unscrew this, just plug it into whichever one you prefer, and this side will be done. Now pretty much do the same thing, just put the bracket in because everything's already hooked up onto the driver's side, and then you should be done. Alright, let me go ahead and hook this onto this, and we'll go ahead and test them out. Alright, now after much arguing and finagling with this lights, actually had to modify the left side bracket because it wasn't fitting near even close to the hole. And actually I have one bracket, one of the bolts on, and it's kind of just hanging. So I gotta find that bracket, but for right now, that button works. And let's go up to the front. Alright, here's light number 1. Light number 2. There we go. Actually, I had to resolder one here because it was actually kind of really corroded. So, but that's it for installing some fog lights. If you have any questions, don't worry, or go ahead and post them to the comments, and I will do my best to answer them as quickly as possible. Hopefully this was helpful for you. Have a good day.